Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up on the news, the free rides for Star Tran riders ends today. After 2.5 years, fares are once again being charged.
Plus, some great news for millions of Americans. You can now get hearing aids over the counter. But first tonight,
we didn't realize that we were going to be test subjects.
An organization dedicated to helping our veterans speaks about how they can get some help. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us.
Today, a nonprofit group held a seminar to inform veterans on how they can access their benefits and make it easier to recover. Channel 8's Matthew Mittleiter has more details in our top story tonight.
The DAV, or Disabled American Veterans, is a nonprofit group working to help injured service members and their families get support and access to their benefits. Mike Webb, a supervisor from the national office, spoke on Monday at the Lincoln chapter. Webb's seminar covered a number of issues that veterans deal with, like disabilities and benefits offered by the VA, and helped the veterans to understand what they're eligible for and how to get help. Webb, who is a veteran himself, says many of the claims he helps with have to do with hearing loss and tinnitus and other issues common among service members.
There's a lot of other disabilities that come about from being in the military. If you're a Vietnam veteran, some of those things may be associated with your exposure to herbicide. You might not think of them as a disability, but those medical issues that you have, asthma, sinusitis and rhinitis, that sort of thing.
Webb says those issues in particular often come from being exposed to hazardous chemicals and burn pits, which were commonly used not only in Iraq and Afghanistan, but as far back as Korea and Vietnam.
When a civilian raises their hand and swears to defend the Constitution, to go where the military sends them, to do what the military asks them to do, we're trained to do that job. We didn't realize that we were going to be test subjects.
He says the PACT Act, which was signed into law by President Biden in August, helps to address issues of veterans being exposed to toxins by allowing the VA to provide the proper benefits. Webb says there's also a lot of veterans who struggle with mental health and PTSD after serving, and there's a number of resources he encourages them to reach out to, such as the Vet Center and the VA's office.
To recognize that there is an issue is the first step. To reaching out is the second step.
We're there to help veterans. We're not going to forget them. We're going to be here for them. If they need help, we'll do the best we can to get them the help that they need.
Webb says once a veteran reaches out for help with a counselor or someone with the DAV, it opens the door to address other issues and get signed up with benefits, compensation, and health care at the VA. Reporting in Lincoln, Matthew Mittleiter, Channel 8 News.
And for links to more resources and how to get into contact with the DAV, just go to our website, klkntv.com, and click on this story. In other news now, several state senators are asking for an investigation into Nebraska's Department of Education.
They held a news conference today, and Channel 8's Veronica Barreto was there. She joins us now with the latest details. Veronica?
This morning, a group of legislators called for an investigation into Nebraska's Department of Education. This centers around the website Launch Nebraska, which was created to help schools reopen from pandemic closures. Lawmakers said the website eventually became a tool for promoting critical race theory, making reference to an outside link. They say PDF documents in this link given to educators claimed any conservatives who oppose CRT are racist. The Nebraska Department of Education says the link in question was never directly attached under their website.
That department has been out of control for years. We are going to get that back under control. We are going to find out what they're teaching there, and we are going to make a difference in how young people are educated in this state.
The specific PDF in question was never directly linked on the Launch Nebraska site or any of the Nebraska Department of Education's websites.
The Department of Education says back in June, they removed the discussed link on its website. They said the governor's office reached out saying that it directed to other links about critical racial theory. The group says the investigation comes after recent ACT scores for the class of 2022 dropped. They say remote learning and ideological fights have hurt Nebraska's education. The department says ACT scores across the nation were down due to the pandemic.
All right, Veronica, thank you for this report. I know you'll have more at 6 o'clock. Well, after 30 months of free fares, StarTran riders here in Lincoln will now have to pay.
StarTran has also restructured bus fares. Channel 8's Jatine Tinsley has those details.
For nearly 2.5 years, bus fare has been halted due to the pandemic. But today, bus fare is reinstated and the buck stops here. Lincoln Transportation and Utilities received a financial supplement that allowed them to keep buses running throughout the pandemic. Director of Lincoln Transportation and Utilities, Liz Elliott, explains why the time is now to reinstate bus fare in Lincoln.
The 30 months that we were able to not charge fares was supplemented by one-time CARES Act money, and that replaced almost $3 million over the 30 months. We no longer have those funds. It was just a one-time thing. So as we were looking at our budget, we wanted to make sure that we were able to continue to grow and build and improve the services that we are providing our community. And the only way to do that was to re-implement a reduced fare.
Pre-pandemic bus fare for adult riders was $1.75. Under the new reduced fare structure, it will now be $1.25. For paratransit riders who have difficulty getting to the bus stop, no need to worry. StarTran buses will come directly to your home or place of business. Previously, those fares were $3.50. They will now be reinstated at $2.50. Despite the reduced fare structure LTU has established, some riders expressed concerns that it will reduce the amount of times they will be able to ride the bus.
You know, when we didn't have fares, you'd take the bus like 6 times a month, and now you might only take the bus either 4 or 2 times a month.
For low-income residents concerned about ride fare, LTU has a low-income bus pass that can be purchased for $8 for adult riders and $16 for paratransit riders. StarTran's future plans include extending service options and routes in 2023. Right now, they are not fully staffed to make that expansion. In Lincoln, Jatine Tinsley, Channel 8 News.
And StarTran hopes to bring in new recruits so they can move forward with their expansion plan. We'll have more on that in our newscast at 6 o'clock. So some health news now. The FDA has approved over-the-counter hearing aids, and you'll start seeing them in pharmacies and even grocery stores like Hy-Vee and Walmart soon.
These hearing aids are lower priced than those prescribed by a doctor, the most expensive coming in at roughly $1,000. Audiologists say it's still important, though, to get your hearing checked before purchasing a hearing aid.
We want to be very clear to our patients just to make sure, and people who are out there maybe thinking about doing this, is that make sure that you don't have maybe ringing in your ears, or you have dizziness, or you have ear drainage, or some of the red flag things that should be really consulted by an audiologist so that you know, hey, is this really an appropriate step for me?
There are still some barriers to these hearing aids. People who struggle with technology might have a difficult time getting the aid set up. We're going to have more on over-the-counter hearing aids coming up tonight on our newscast at 6 o'clock.
But for now, it's time to get a check of our weather. Meteorologist Jessica Blum, she's in for Rusty. Jessica, it was a crisp and breezy morning today.
Yeah, it's going to continue to be so too. We're not just stopping at low temperatures today. We've got cooler temperatures on their way as we continue to get northerly winds bringing this cold air from the Arctic that's just been plummeting our low temperatures so far. But despite that, despite the colder weather, it's still pretty outside. Looking at our Honda of Lincoln cam, you can still see a lot of fall colors across the tree line looking outside. But right now, wind speeds are still sustained out of the north at 18 miles per hour, recorded at the airport, 20 in Wahoo right now, as well as 21 in Omaha. So wind gusts are still anywhere from 25 and 30 miles per hour as well today. Satellite, pretty quiet right now. These clear skies have allowed us to cool down effectively at the night and then allow us to warm up decently despite the northerly winds. Still got to around 50 degrees today, still 50 degrees at the airport, a little bit cooler in town, 48 degrees at East Campus and 49 degrees on Southeast Community College. Across the area though, a little bit cooler off to the east, 46 right now in Omaha, but then again warmer a little bit off to the west where they've seen temperatures even upwards of 60 degrees today in the Panhandle. But the wind chill makes it feel a little bit cooler, especially along the river. 38 degrees feels like in Omaha, and we'll talk more about these wind chills later. But going into this evening, we'll dip into near freezing temperatures towards the evening as winds eventually die down, but then continue to pick up tomorrow morning.
All right, we'll check back in with you soon, Jessica. Thank you. Now to some national news and the latest on the mass shooting in Raleigh, North Carolina that left 5 people dead. The 15-year-old suspect is said to be in grave condition with life-threatening injuries.
And police are still working to try and determine a motive. ABC's Rena Roy has the very latest.
A new reality setting in for the families of the 5 people gunned down in Raleigh, North Carolina last week.
I feel like I'm just walking through a daze right now.
Police say the suspect, just 15 years old, opened fire on a residential street and continued on a popular nature trail.
Oh my God. Oh, she's bleeding.
Tracy Howard lost his wife, 52-year-old Nicole Connors. She was the oldest of those killed.
Disbelief. She was a fun, loving person, bubbly. You got everybody in the neighborhood knew her.
A law enforcement official telling ABC News the shooter is related to one of the victims. Authorities are still working to pin down a motive. The youngest victim, James Thompson, was just 16 years old, a high school junior. 49-year-old Susan Carnatz, a mother of 3, also killed, along with 34-year-old Mary Marshall, a Navy vet, just days before she was to be married. And 29-year-old off-duty police officer Gabriel Torres gunned down on his way to work. His fellow officers now paying tribute.
His entire adult life he served. This was a young man whose life was dedicated to serving the community.
Authorities say the alleged gunman engaged in a long standoff with police before he was taken into custody in serious condition. A law enforcement official tells ABC News the suspect's juvenile records have not shown any criminal history. Detectives are going through handwritten material and the suspect's home to try and figure out his motive. Police expected to release more details this Thursday. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And coming up, deadly aerial attacks from Russia continue to rain down on Ukraine's capital city of Kiev.
Well, the latest on that and your full forecast after the break.
Or in Ukraine, emergency crews are searching through rubble after Russia attacked another residential area with Iranian kamikaze drones.
This is the U.S. and NATO kick off nuclear drills in Europe today. ABC's Eyewitness is in Washington with more.
Deadly aerial attacks from Russia continuing to rain down on Ukraine's capital city of Kyiv Monday during morning rush hour. Officials there say the weapons were mostly kamikaze drones supplied by Iran. Iran has denied providing Russia with the weapons. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko labeling the Russian attacks as terrorism.
More than 200 apartments building destroyed from the Russians' attack. Were killed a lot of people, civilians, unguilty people.
This Ukrainian parliament member calling for a global response to Russia's assault.
We're asking also for the further sanctions for this country that is actually selling drones to Russia.
And Russia's military confirming a warplane has crashed into a residential area on the Sea of Azov. The pilots reportedly ejecting after the plane suffered an apparent engine failure. Also today, the U.S. and NATO kicking off nuclear training exercises in Europe. The long-planned annual nuclear drills will include dozens of aircraft, including U.S. B-52 long-range bombers. Russia holding its own nuclear exercises this month, which could include live missile tests. President Vladimir Putin continuing to stoke nuclear fears over U.S. and NATO support for Ukraine, calling a potential direct conflict a very dangerous move which could lead to a global catastrophe. The Kremlin says it's sending almost 9,000 soldiers to Belarus to bolster its strategic border with Ukraine. Meanwhile, the U.S. announcing another $725 million more of assistance for Ukraine that will include Humvees, weapons, and ammunition. The total amount of U.S. aid to Ukraine now at $17.6 billion since Russia invaded Ukraine. We're now learning 108 Ukrainian women were freed in a prisoner swap with Russia. Ukraine, in turn, releasing 80 Russian civilian sailors and 30 military personnel. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with meteorologist Jessica Blum.
Again, looking outside right now might be a little deceiving because it looks pretty nice outside, but if you've been outside, you know the winds and the clear air is actually, we've been a lot cooler today, experiencing wind gusts out of the north anywhere from 25 to 30 miles per hour. But Southeast Community College, it looks pretty bright, not many clouds in the sky right now, very sunny. And you wouldn't know why we've been so cold just looking at our near satellite radar. We're pretty quiet. That's why we've been experiencing some sunny weather throughout the last few days. But again, this upper level low is kind of sandwiching us between a ridge that's building off to the west, and so a lot of these cooler air temperatures are being driven because of these winds between the two systems pulling in Arctic air from the north. And so this is eventually going to be moving on. It's kind of been a closed off low, so it hasn't been able to move off, but it's going to continue to move on going over the next several days and will eventually start to warm up. But cold weather is upon us. Right now, temperatures right around 50 degrees in Lincoln, 46 in Omaha. Wind chills we looked at earlier sitting about 38 degrees in Omaha, feeling a little bit cooler in some spots, and those wind chills are going to continue to dip as we go later in this evening. But looking across the state, it's been a lot cooler as these northwesterly winds have been stronger on eastern Nebraska's side. Rather than out west, we've seen not many wind gusts, as well as temperatures sitting right around 60 degrees in Scottsbluff, as well as 63 in Chadron. They've had even southerly winds at times, so it's kept them a little bit on the warmer side. And as that ridge builds in, you'll see some of these warmer temperatures will eventually cool and come our way later this week. But as you can see, there's just a cold pool of air due to this system currently sitting on our side, and it's eventually going to bring this cooler air into our region going into tomorrow. So high temperatures tomorrow are going to be even cooler than they were today because of this. But looking at some of these temperatures on Stormcast going forward, we can see temperatures are going to dip to right around freezing by tonight, and then even lower after that as we continue to cool off. The winds die down, so they won't be able to keep us warmer with any cloud cover either. We could be experiencing upper teens by tomorrow morning with wind chills in the lower teens as well. So expecting tonight's low temperature right around 18 degrees. It'll be a clear night, and we could break some records going into this evening as well. Record currently sits at 21 degrees, set back in 1972. And with the wind chills, we'll be feeling even colder than the record and the actual temperature, because those winds will be picking up throughout the morning hours. We could see wind chills in the lower teens, maybe even the single digits starting off Tuesday. So a very cold start to the day. And looking at some other records that we could be breaking in Norfolk and Omaha tomorrow, Again, 1972 was the year to set records, so again, we might do all of the same right here in 2022, but it's going to be a cold start to the day. We'll start to warm back up throughout the afternoon. We won't be able to rebound quite as well tomorrow. It will be sunny, but highs right around 45 degrees with winds still gusting upwards of 20 miles per hour. And then heading into the rest of the week, we do have a nice rebound heading into Wednesday with a lot of sunshine. Those low temperatures are going to rebound as a result too, and then we'll see temperatures back in the 70s and near normal towards the end of the week. And then maybe even a chance to hit 80 degrees by the end of the weekend. I mean, doesn't this kind of look like Nebraska weather? It sure does to me. And then maybe Sunday into Monday, there's been a strong signal for a developing storm late Sunday into Monday that could finally bring us some precipitation that a lot of us have been needing over the last several days. But the warmer weather is upon us. We just have a cold stretch over the next couple days. Teens for lows for the next couple days, and then we'll start to rebound to near normal for this time of year going forward.
Yeah, that'll be quite the swing from 40s to upper 70s by the end of this week.
It is. It's Nebraska. We can expect this.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much, Jessica. Hey, big gains on Wall Street today. The Dow gaining 554 points. NASDAQ is up 354. S&P adding 95. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Finally tonight, a father and son's fishing trip off the Jersey Shore turned surreal when a very close encounter left them with a whale of a tale to tell.
Jeremy Roth has tonight's. Take a look at this.
Watch the moment an airborne whale freaks out a father-son fishing duo. Oh, Zach Pillar and his dad were fishing off the New Jersey shore near Belmar when the humpback whale suddenly crested and collided with their boat on touchdown. I don't know what's more entertaining, the whale of a tale viral video moment. What the f***? or the pair's loud and colorful reaction, which is likely still hanging somewhere over the Atlantic. High above West Virginia, a massive crowd of spectators watched daredevils take flight, but only until gravity took over. Base jumpers ranging in age from 19 all the way up to 83 took turns taking the 876-foot plunge at Bridge Day over New River Gorge, America's newest national park. Not only is Bridge Day the largest one-day event in West Virginia, it's the only day of the year this activity is legal in the park. This year also marked the fan-favorite event's return to the Mountain State after a 2-year pandemic-prompted hiatus. Finally, speaking of impressive feats, a New Zealand zoo's ring-tailed lemur population has more than doubled thanks to one very busy dad. 4 females each gave birth to twins after an encounter with Zeus as part of New Wellington Zoo's breeding program. When asked about Zeus's prolific parentage, zoo officials didn't mince words, saying he, quote, got around very well. You can say that again. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Look at him playing there. All right, let's get a final check of the forecast. And Jessica, overnight we could see a record low, right?
Yeah, I shouldn't be smiling at that. It's going to be very cold going into tomorrow. Temperatures probably tonight in the upper teens, and the previous record right around 21 degrees. So likely going to break that going into this evening. Another night of upper teens going into Tuesday, but then we'll start to warm up at the end of the weekend.
All right, thank you, Jessica, and thank you all for joining us.
World News is next. We'll see you back here at 6.
With the Channel 8 News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
We only do one thing at Comfort Made Mattress Factory, handcraft the highest quality mattress possible. It's backed by a lifetime comfort guarantee. Come see us.